Welcome on in, everybody. It is another fresh stream from your pal, iNovator. Good to see you all here with us as always. This is old fat guy hanging out on the cuddle throne, putting out them positive vibes. Good to see everybody here today. We're going to talk all about what I like to call the brains support classes. For those of you guys who know them, role-playing games or those or something like Overwatch where there's like more DPS and support type classes. Well, this is the brains support classes, the glial cells. We've talked about some of them on stream before, but I've never addressed them specifically as a category and talked all about each different kind. So we're going to do that tonight. Also, Ninja, fight me. Boylan's orange cream soda just wasn't that good. I was going to say, it wasn't my favorite. I've had better orange soda, okay? You know, if you want to do that. I prefer Henry Weinhard's. And you can just go ahead and fight me about that. Fly on back out to California and fight me. Okay? Bring it on. My friend Eva is here. Good to see you, Eva. How you doing? Eva's featuring me on her channel soon. I'm not going to be there, but featuring me on her channel soon to be a famous vegan person. Famous enough. That must be happening. Oh, it's happening next week. Yes, I believe so. So hopefully people are inspired to make healthier choices for themselves, whether or not that be vegan. I don't care if you become a vegan, but I would like you to make healthy life choices and live a long, happy life because of that. So, yeah, I'm Beta's favorite vegan celebrity. I appreciate it. Sylvia Chan, good to see you, friend. Long time no see. How the heck are you? I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining. And Eva, thank you so much for that spicy resub. Welcome back to the neural net. And Session Long Kitty Cam, assuming I remember to turn it on, is going to be brought to you by our friend Eva this evening. Appreciate that. Now see, you guys took out Snoop's heart nose, which means this little fat one gets treat, and you guys get some kitty cam. I love that boy. Thank you guys for donating again to Fat Boy's Fat Belly Fund, dedicated to keeping him the fattest little kitty on Twitch. He appreciates it. I appreciate it. You all love it. It's a win-win-win. Okay, boy. You taking off? I know it's not middle of the stream yet where you're going to sleep the rest of the night. Time to be up and about and running about. Yep. All right. See you, bud. Yep. All right. He's out. You are indeed here fairly early tonight, Tommy. How you doing? I think I remember you being here like right away on Friday too. So credit where credit's due. Eva loves fats. Indeed. So do I. So do I. He'll be back. Don't worry. He's good about it. He's got that 20-minute timer in his head. He knows exactly when to be back for sure. Somebody said Fox is so 2000 nowadays, so we do 1v1 Final Destination. Lucina, no items. Oh snap. Them's fighting words, yo. Quite well, a bit tired. I hear you. Famous to throw down in some Smash. Speaking of 2000, I don't think I've played Smash since around 2000 myself. I would be quite rusty. For me, it's all about Smash 64. Fight me. Link only for this guy. Freaking rocked it, dude. It was good times. Didn't I forget something Friday? No, I did it. I did. Did I not send it to you? I sent it to you. I sent it. I know for a fact I did. I swear I did. I remember doing it right after the fact. Double check again. I know it's there. We did the drawing. I sent you the $5. I swear I did. This time I know I got it. Double check. I will double check my bank statement offline. Why am I trying to do that on stream? That's a dumb idea. I will double check after stream. But last emails from January 23rd? Yeah, that would be 6 days ago, which would be last week. Okay, I need to double check my bank statement. What the heck, Steam? I sent one. Oh well. I'll get it figured out, Ninja. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, we'll do it. I'll set myself a reminder here. That'll do it. Anyways, Ninja is referring to whenever there is a brand new sub on our stream, everybody in chat has a chance to give 500 BDNF, or our channel currency, to that brand new sub as they become a VIP of our channel. And just to kind of promote that connection between, new community members and established people. And whoever does that gets entered into a $5 Steam gift card drawing at the end of the week. Just to give you guys something to, use that currency for. And another way for me to give back to you for spending your time here, because I appreciate that oh so much. Y'all could be doing a million other things and you choose to spend your time here? Who am I to be so lucky for that, you know? So. Ninja said, shout out Steam for not being reliable, but still a better service. Still better than the Epic Store. What is the Epic Store? I don't know about this. What is this? What is the Epic Store? I heard somebody talking about, was that earlier in chat, like a second ago? No. I heard somebody say, asking about the Epic Store. Like if people were gonna like use that over good old games and other things and Steam and things like that. What is that? You know, the Fortnite guys are trying to compete with Steam. Okay. Epic Store is the creator of Fortnite, making a launcher store like Steam. Okay. I have no reason to switch to them. Steam, as far as I know, works fine, so I have no problem. I know there's been people in chat before who have kind of a vendetta against Steam, and understandably so. Because they got scammed out of a bunch of stuff or hacked or whatever, and Steam refused to do anything about it. So yeah, I wouldn't want to use Steam anymore either. Those are the kind of customers that Steam will lose to other services once there is a comparable one. And maybe at that point, once there is a comparable service and Steam does start losing people because of questionable customer service, maybe they'll start stepping their game up on that, you know? I felt kind of gypped when I bought No Man's Sky and it was nothing like it was advertised and I wanted my money back and they wouldn't give it to me. That was a bummer, you know? But, buyer beware, you know? Caveat emptor. Oh my gosh, Captioner actually got that. And it says Deep Silver, the publisher for Metro Exodus, announced yesterday that it's getting pulled from Steam to be exclusive to the Epic Store. The game comes out in 2 weeks. Okay. Is Metro Exodus like Metro 2033, like those guys? Because if so, I don't feel like I'm missing anything there. I didn't like the Metro games, but I know they are quite popular. They have a modicum of popularity. Yeah, okay, it is that. I thought so. Sylvia said they got quite shady advert services and lie about refund policies, and since they pay plus offer higher cut for developers, so companies go there instead. Okay, we're talking about dropping frames. We're back. We're talking about the new service then. We're talking about Epic Store. Okay. Yeah, it seems like that's a big thing people are doing, is they're offering more incentive to developers. So the developers go there and then they can have exclusive titles, which Sony is reaping the benefit of, right? Sony's all about them exclusive titles. Bloodborne. Gosh dang it. I want to play that DLC, but I don't want to buy a PS4. Rather, I want to buy a PS4, but I can't justify spending the money on a PS4. There's still, what, like 400 bones? No. Cannot justify that. Just can't do it. Can't do it. Ninja says a lot of people overseas don't use Steam because they don't support a lot of countries. And wait, what? They don't support a lot of countries, and a lot they do don't have regional pricing. Got it. Well, yeah, that's tough. That's but again, I think I talked about this before, but there's really not a reason for Steam to cooperate with other countries or offer any sort of, you know, service like that, because they're the only ones doing it. So, you know, like, why are they doing that? Why are they gonna? Why? They just don't have to, you know. Steam does have regional pricing. Epic doesn't. Oh, that's they're shooting themselves in the foot there. If they're going to be better than Steam, they're going to have to, you know, compete with Steam on pretty much every level, you know, if they're going to shoot themselves in the foot like that. Steam also has cloud saves, Epic doesn't. See, it sounds like they're just trying to ride the fact that they are, you know, they made Fortnite. That's going to make people go buy their games, and it's true, they might. But I don't think they're going to get so much out of that they'll be able to compete with the giant that is Steam. So, Sylvia says, I just bought a PS4 and I'm enjoying exclusives at the moment. I bet you are. Got it from a friend for 100 bones. I would absolutely do that. But then, I mean, for me though, if I buy a PS4, I'm also going to have to buy a capture card so I can stream the games that I play, because being a, you know, semi-serious streamer, I don't really play games offline anymore. I just don't have the time to do it, you know. Maybe a couple hours a week will I play something offline. So if I'm gonna play something, I'm gonna play it here. So one, I can actually play it, and two, well, you know, you guys can enjoy it as well. So I think if I was gonna buy something, I would buy probably a Switch next, because I just really want to play Breath of the Wild. Oh my god, so good. Sylvia said, I'm not against something new like Steam comes. I'm not against something new like Steam, since competition's good for customers. It is. But Epic Store is quite anti-consumer at the moment. Yeah, that's not good. Not going to be a good alternative. And Sylvia says, you can stream it without the capture card, quite decent. Oh, for the PS4? Yeah. We've been checking out how to do that for the last couple of days. Yeah. I still wouldn't, though. I still wouldn't. I would go for the capture card. Just because I would use that in the future, too. I would buy, like, a nice capture card. I would buy... If I was going to move into streaming console games, I would buy the last capture card I would ever need and set that up so I never had to mess with it again. Just because that's how I like to roll, you know? None of this Elgato Stream Deck stuff, because I hear just bad stuff about those. Like something a really nice capture card. Do remote play, but the quality suffers a tad, and no, I'm not trying to stream low quality stuff, so no. No, thank you. Welcome back, Fats. Welcome back, Fats. Oh, positive things from the Elgato. Oh, I've heard real bad. I've heard not so. I haven't heard terrible things about the Elgato Stream Deck, but I've heard not great stuff either. Yeah, I've heard it's not fabulous. So, and I don't want to mess with something that's not fabulous. I want something that I would buy and use that, and it would never, hopefully never fail. You know. So I would be willing to put down some money for one. That's a ways down the road, you know? And especially since I'm focusing less on gaming nowadays and more on the EDU content. But I still always want there to be gaming, for sure. The whole reason I joined in the first place. The Nomec said, yeah, exactly. Nomec couldn't use this for a while because the audio was 3 seconds out of sync. Yeah, exactly. So, no. He's had problems. I've heard Hunter Wild had some problems. Other people have had problems with the Elgato Stream Deck. As far as I heard, it's nope. Sorry, when those kind of names in the business say that they don't like that product, like that's gonna get your product not sold. Honestly, when you have those kind of influencers downplaying your product or saying I wouldn't use it, many other people probably won't use it either. So yeah. Yeah, I think Dano is also saying, yeah, the Elgato Stream Deck, or not the Stream Deck, but I keep saying Stream Deck. I don't want the Stream Deck. I'm talking about the capture card. Sorry, I'm getting those mixed up. The Stream Deck is the programmable keypad that you can put your different alerts and stuff into and play those at the push of a button. That's a different thing. The Stream Decks have been working fine as far as I know. I'm talking about the capture card. Sorry, the Elgato capture cards, not fabulous. Not fabulous. Sylvie plans to save up cash so you can stream both Switch and better quality PS4 in future. But for now, you can't afford it, so you have to do a little bit lower quality. It's okay. Lower quality stream is better than no stream. As long as your audio is really good, that's the one to focus on. Apparently, people can deal with like some lower quality video, but if they can't hear you or it's just really annoying to listen to, people will leave right away. Just can't. Nope. Cannot do it. Heard the Stream Deck is quite good, but expensive. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the Stream Deck does the same thing as the 10 key on my keyboard. I don't freaking need one, so I don't plan on getting one. I don't. Nope. I'm not a streamer that runs like a ton of sound effects and all that stuff like that, so like, nah. I don't feel like I need one. I don't feel like it would add to my stream or my setup or anything like that. So many people that run just like buku sound effects and like alerts and like visuals and all that stuff, like they could use one for sure. Absolutely. Excuse me, I don't. Panda News, get out of here. Thank you. Jeez. Anyways, though, how the heck is everybody? I didn't even ask this yet. How is everybody? How was your weekend? What's new with you? What's good? Please tell me all about it. This weekend, Mrs. Beta and I went to go get some delicious pizza. It was awesome. I played some D&D with friends, and that was great. We finished up a campaign that we've been running for the last like year and a half, and it was dope. It was really cool at the end. The DM who's been DMing for us said that he contacted one of his friends that does some artwork and like commissioned like some drawings of each one of our characters and the way that he kind of visualized them in his head. And I'm pretty happy with the way mine looks. It's gonna be pretty dope when I get that. They all look really cool. I'm like especially happy with mine though, because it's mine. You know, it's that much more special to me. So it's gonna be awesome. Looking forward to it for sure. Taxdew, coming in with that host. How you doing, Taxdew? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, dude. Taxdew, I want to hear your opinion on this, man. I heard a little news headline saying that the IRS is saying they're going to need at least a year to get like caught up with taxes and stuff like that. What do you think, man? What do you think? And it says the big issue with the Stream Deck is that with a little know-how, you can get almost the same functionality through a $10 USB numpad. Yep, that too. Or the 10 key on your keyboard. Or the 10 key on your keyboard and a USB 10 key. Exactly. Like you don't need a Stream Deck. Most people that have a Stream Deck probably don't need a Stream Deck. Just gonna put that out there. Or if they do have a Stream Deck and do use it, they probably could have bought something cheaper that isn't a Stream Deck. So, Tax2 says it's gonna take a while, but a year is exaggerating, I think. Okay. I'm glad to hear that for you guys, for you tax professionals that work for the government and such. I am glad to hear that. Also glad to hear that at least for now you're back at work and we'll hopefully get your back pay soon. I guess you're back at work for like 2 more weeks. I hope that, well, 3 more. I hope that continues for you. Just saying. Anyways, yeah. Also, there's another question, a new question of the evening here. It's trying. This one's more for me, trying to improve the channel. You know, just trying to always improve and provide better content for you guys. So, what is the best thing you guys have learned here so far? And also, what is something that you want to learn or discuss here? That way I can make new things in the future. I'm working on something I think is pretty interesting next week. Deals more specifically with streaming and streamers and the Twitch community at large, and also social psychology and neuroscience. I'm pretty excited to present that to you guys. Been working on it for the last couple of days already. Doing my research and stuff, making sure I understand it, making sure my line of logic and reasoning is correct, and it is in fact backed with research. So I'm pretty excited about that. I knew I was gonna be able to count on Ninja for a snark response. I knew it. He's learned about After Hour Marine chants. Sure has. Shout out to Web Captioner for making me say really weird stuff sometimes. Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, I'm working on that for next week. But like I said, I'm always interested in hearing about what you guys want to learn about too. You know, within the realm of science, I'm not going to be teaching about crocheting or anything because I wouldn't know the first thing about it. But as far as neuroscience goes and whatnot, I'm happy to take suggestions. I just learned about this YouTuber named Vsauce the other day who does, like, I would love to be doing the end goal stuff that he's doing. Like, it's amazing. Oh my gosh. Super high production value, very science-based, super psychology and neuroscience-based. Freaking love it. Oh my gosh. Crochet stream when? Never. Literally never. No. Michael here? What? What are you talking about? I love that mechanical getting named Fatter Than Late, dude. I freaking love that, dude. Good. That's a red classic, man. Classic red. Vsauce? What about him? Vsauce? Michael here? I don't get the reference. I'm missing it, man. I'm missing it. Is that something he says, or is that something he does? I don't get it. saying Michael again doesn't... Oh, his name is Michael. Okay. Okay, got it. I haven't seen too much of his stuff yet. Got it. Okay. Okay. There it is. I got a quote from our friend Nina. Hope she's able to join us again sometime soon. I miss her. Kyle! Welcome on in, man. Welcome on in, man. Good to see you guys. Kyle resubbing with that spicy tier 2 resub for 11 months, which means next month is Kyle's Twitch anniversary. Good to see you, my friend. How'd that go this evening, Kyle? Kavas is here too. All the friends coming in. Kyle, Kavas, how you guys doing? What's good? What's new? What happened over the weekend? Anything interesting? Love to hear about it. Kyle just got his Kingdom Hearts 3 PS4 Pro. Nice, dude. Nice. Twitter, on Twitter, people have been going crazy for it, man. I never played any of the Kingdom Hearts. I have no interest in doing that, but I know that people have been waiting for like over a decade for it. And so far as yet, people have been happy with it. I haven't heard anything about whether it's good or bad because surprisingly, people are actually keeping it under wraps. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, I know people are very excited about that. So congratulations, Kyle. Also, Kyle, you might cry when you boot it up. I've heard that people already have. So yep, I wouldn't be surprised. Speaking of Kyle, that reminded me. You guys ready? If you guys looked in your emotes, you might have seen something. Here's the new one. Boom. There it is. The new That's emote. That's the one. And Ninja G's, what's up with that, dude? Wow. Wow. Ninja the Shade, dude. Sylvie say, I learned like a billion things and you've been around. In the future, you just want to learn more things. Sounds good, Sylvie. I'll keep doing it if you're going to keep showing up, bud. Thank you. Isn't that a nifty emote? There it is. It's the new one. For One Fat's Chomps. I freaking love it. My girl, Maple Cat made it. Freaking love it, dude. Freaking love it. Oh my gosh, did I like totally forget? 1 second. I need to check something. Tommy's on that quest. Red's on that quest. Good to see you, Red. How you doing, my friend? Welcome on in. Good to see you as always. Oh, no problem, Kyle. It's all good. Whatever, dude. It's there for you guys to enjoy whenever you want it. Yeah. And my girl Maple Cat Art on Twitter. She made that emote. I've kept my eye on her art for a long time for like when I needed channel graphics, and I knew that this one was going to be done perfectly by her, and I was not at all disappointed. I freaking love it. She captured Fat's little heart nose. He's got his eyes. He's got the mischievous look on his face. It's freaking great, dude. I love it. It's so good. Hey, no problem, Kyle. No problem. And if you didn't come back because you're playing Kingdom Hearts 3, I completely understand. Don't worry about it. You enjoy, alright, man? And I see, speaking of Fats and chomping, it's time for her to chomp a treat. Here it is. Little Fat Boy gets a treat. You guys get some kitty cam. Wow, you guys took out Maine Coon Manny. So many people were on that quest. I loved it. I loved it. Thank you guys for donating again to Fat Boy's Fat Belly Fund. Dedicated to keeping him the fattest little kitty on Twitch. He appreciates it. I appreciate it. Y'all love it. It's a win-win-win. Seems to be a little out of sorts there. Boop, there we go. No, wait. Redtacular, what's good? What's new, man? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Red was watching some spoopy movies this weekend. Also, everybody who's joined and hasn't had a chance to answer yet, what's the best thing you learned here? And what do you want to learn about in the future? What do you want to learn or discuss in the future? Please let me know. Please tell me all about it. Ready Player One, the spookiest movie? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I never saw the movie. I just read the book, and based on the book, I was like, I don't want to see the movie. I don't want to, not messing with it. No, thank you. The book tried way too hard to have like nerd cred. It's the kind of thing you really can't force. It just, no. It was okay. I mean, I read it to the end and all that stuff. It just, no. Nope. And based on like having read the book and seen the trailer for the movie, I was like, Freddy Krueger is not in the book. Like there weren't orcs in the book. Like what? And we talked before about how like for me, like stuff adapted from books, like I want it to be like the book. That was shaping up to be nothing like the book. So I was like, nope. Red said Ready Player One was unrealistic. Well, yeah. It is set in VR for the most part. Way too few anime waifu avatars. Yeah. Well, the avatars are supposed to be like, well, maybe they changed it in the movie. The avatars are supposed to be like you, for the most part. But I guess I have not seen VR chat. I guess maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But as far as I know, like VR chat, I mean, like that stuff's supposed to be like What was I thinking? What was I even saying? I forget now. Yeah, like the avatars are kind of supposed to look like you. They're supposed to be completely different. Though I guess they could be. I mean, because H's was, but yeah, you know, whatever. Sylvie said the movie has been changed from the book in quite a bit of aspects. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what it looked like. They made Ready Player One like VR chat. It would be a better movie. Oh, got him. Got him. To try and fit in with their new age, since yeah, hip kids wouldn't understand the old references. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They can't be talking about the Atari and like Joust and stuff. They can't. No, that won't work anymore. No, I get those things. I know about those. I get some of the references. Like I didn't get all of them. Most of them I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what those things are. But a lot of the stuff I knew what they were talking about. Nowadays, that stuff would be completely lost on young kids. And since it's clearly marketed towards young kids, you gotta, you know, put in stuff that they know. Which makes me wonder why Freddy Krueger? I mean, that's not even a young kid thing either. So, whatever. Tax, you get a kick out of the references? Exactly, yeah, exactly, yeah. You would. You understand them. You lived with them, you know? Atari was still in the movie, but so was Tracer. Oh, see, there you go. Alright. Yeah, alright, okay, yeah. That doesn't make it better. I don't think Tracer was going to add to that movie, sorry. So the movie was like somebody heard about the book and decided to write their own story about what they heard about. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. For me anyways, like having Ready Player One not start off on the best foot already, and then like playing a game of Operator like that, no. No. Every 0.5 seconds, Tracer shows up. Cheers, love. Please stop. And then she goes back in time, and shows up again, right? Yeah, I know. Anyways, if there's a book that I would want to see adapted to, I could see it a series or a movie. It's very long, so it would have to be a buttload of movies or a long series. I would love to see the Kingkiller Chronicle books made into movies. They're so good. Holy jeez. That's gonna be a question for tomorrow, actually. I would love to see that made into a movie, because the books are just so darn good, and I can't wait for the third one to be finished. It's just so good. If you guys haven't read that series, like, do it. Only the first 2 books are out, so if you're trying to wait for the third one, don't read it yet. And you'll know when the third one is out, because Twitter and the rest of social media will be broken. But yeah, really good stuff. Okay, trying to write myself a note there. Sylvia says, did you just hear Just Dance is getting a movie adaptation? What? No, stop. They just said there's the Dark Tower movie. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't see it because I was like, there's no way they took all 7 of those books and made one movie. No. That's either just about the first book and they're making 6 more movies, or they skipped a lot of stuff. Because you didn't make 7. Just no. Not all the books made into that movie. No. I'm guessing there's probably not much time travel and all that stuff. That's just not in there. Nope. Sylvia says he wishes he was joking, but he's not. Just Dance is becoming a movie. Are you kidding? Is it going to be like Step Up to the Streets or what? I can't believe this. No. No. Wow. I can't even imagine what the premise would be. Is it going to focus more on like the IRL dance piece, or is it going to be about the VR stuff? Like, what even happens? Ninja said they'll make a movie about anything, they'll sell tickets. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, the Emoji movie. Oh gosh, there's so much. I don't even watch movies much anymore. I'll go and see like the Marvel movies, and like that's about it. I saw Interstellar. That was worth it. That was a really, really good movie. But besides that, yeah, I kind of don't go see movies anymore, just because that's what they do. They'll just put something on a screen and people will go pay for it. And I'm gonna vote with my wallet and say no, Hollywood. If you want my money, please make movies worth watching. I'm not going to see those. Good day, sir. So, But I mean, anybody that wants to go see the next animated movie can and will go do that, and you go right ahead. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing it. Right, so we're in the y'all remember video games area of movies? Kind of, yeah. It does seem that way. They made a movie out of Battleship. Oh, God. They did, didn't they? Incredibles 2 was okay, to be honest. Yeah, but I'm not trying to go see it. I'm not trying to go pay $12 a head for okay. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing that. Sorry. And I'm sure as heck not going to buy a $7 tub of popcorn and a $5 drink either. No. I'm not doing those things. Just not going to do it. Dr. Shanani wins. Shanani wins. How you doing? Hello. So I've lurked in your VODs for a bit, and I'm super excited to catch me live. Well, we're super excited to have you here. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Here's some love and chat for Dr. Shanani wins. How the heck are you? It's good to see you. Dr. See you. Good to see you. Am I saying your name right? Please let me know. I feel like it's a play on the word shenanigans. It's just Dr. Shenanawins. Let me know. $7? More like $70. Yeah, my wife and my mom. Don't read into that too much. That was really funky. My mom and her boyfriend, they love going to see movies and stuff like that, and they'll regularly just go drop like $100 at the movies, just going and like ticket price, and then like all the snacks and stuff like that, and just like, oh my gosh, I don't believe it, but that's the way they go enjoy themselves, and that's okay. You know, they can go do that. Thank you for connecting with us. Appreciate that. Doing mighty fine. I am indeed saying your name right, which never happens the first time. Okay, hey, I feel like I'm pretty darn good at that. Unless there's some like silent letter or something in a person's name, I'm pretty darn good at it. So. Movie Pass is the best thing to happen to movies in a long time. Too bad they didn't have a sustainable business model. Yeah, Ninja, you were telling me how you were making a killing with Movie Pass, dude, and yeah, that's not sustainable. No. Mm-mm. Oh, they're making a Sonic the Hedgehog movie? Why? I know why. I'm not gonna ask why. Because they can make money. Oh my gosh, I don't believe it. And Jim Carrey's gonna be Robotnik? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't imagine anybody playing Robotnik. Just because I can't imagine him being on the big screen, because I have never heard him talk. Like, I can't imagine any of that. I don't know. Nah, dude, nah. I don't want to, no. Ben Schwartz will be, I don't even know who Ben Schwartz is. I'm gonna look this up on my phone real quick. WTF Ben Schwartz. Who is this person? I do not know. I do not know Ben Schwartz. Where are we at? Ben Schwartz. Ben to the Schwartz. Oh, that guy. Yeah. From yeah, I recognize him from Parks and Rec. Yeah. His character in Parks and Rec was super hilarious, dude. I can't imagine his comedy chops are gonna be able to shine in Sonic the Hedgehog, but yeah, I got it. Ninja says they should cast Danny DeVito in the new Pokemon movie. They should. He could be Ditto or something. Yeah, that'd be dope. Kava said, "Hey, at least you could have been Jaleel White, or sorry, at least it's not. Oh, I'm not getting it, Kavas. Oh, Jaleel White was Sonic in the cartoons. Oh, I didn't know that. I saw a couple episodes of that. I didn't watch much of it because it was funky. I didn't know Jaleel White played him, or voiced him rather. Jaleel White, for those of you guys who don't know, played Urkel on Family Matters. I can't imagine that. That's crazy. Danny to Ditto. Sylvie? I like the way you think, sir. I'm a fan of it. That's good. Danny DeVito's Pikachu, only way? Okay, I mean, okay, sure. Now that you're, technically, now that I have confirmation that you are indeed on Twitter, Ninja, have you followed Daniel T. Dorito yet? I assume you have. And if you haven't, I'm assuming you're going to do that right now. Pokemon's for millennials, dude? Nah, dude. Pokemon has aged well and popularly, I would say. Yep. I'm surprised that they're only up to like, what, 700 Pokemon? They haven't hit 1,000 yet, and when they do, rest assured Nintendo's going to make a big flipping deal out of it, okay? I'd say Pokemon is still quite popular. Maybe not as popular with the kids, but still pretty popular with the kids. I think like if you don't want to play Fortnite, then I think you play Splatoon. If you don't want to play Splatoon, then you play Pokemon. I'm just gonna put that out there, you know, seeing as how I have my thumb on the pulse of the nation and all that stuff. So I totally do. Yeah, totally. Oh, okay, Ninja, got it. Well, I'm sure you're the bot pretending to be you. I am sure that bot is following Daniel T. Dorito, so you can get those spicy memes in your feed, whatever. You feed upon those spicy Dorito memes. Little Fats is back. He's ready for a treat. Whew, all right. Well, I'm glad to catch up with you guys. So I think we get more and more chatty every time. I think I'm getting to be a better conversationalist with everybody, which is a good thing to do for sure. And yeah, we'll probably read the chat a little bit more. Then we're going to jump into talking all about the brains support classes, those glial cells. We're going to talk about those. Probably a little bit shorter of a presentation for tonight. That's okay. When that's done, we're going to jump into some more My Time at Portia, where we do a lot of mining. And a lot of mining. It's been a lot of mining. I'm not going to lie. Doing a lot of mining. Yeah. I hope the game opens up besides that. A lot of mining so far. But also some fighting. Also some crafting. But a lot of mining. Yeah. If you're gonna play My Time at Portia, you better not mining. Got him. Got him. Ninja tried Splatoon, didn't really like it that much. It's a multiplayer shooter. The main objective is to shoot the ground instead of the other players. I saw that, yeah. Not for you. Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed that it's all about just painting the largest area of the map you can, and then if you come across another player, I mean, you can take them out, and that kind of helps your team have a leg up. But yeah, I don't like shooters anyways. So Taxi said the captioner said oil cells. Oh yeah, the captioner says a lot of weird stuff. I wasn't talking about Texas. What? We're talking about captioner. Stop putting words in my mouth. Sylvia said spent the last couple hours mining in Final Fantasy XIV. Comes here, more mining. 10 out of 10 at least you were prepared. Exactly. Can I borrow some of your pickaxes, please? Hook it up. I could use an upgraded pickaxe. Okay, boy. Actually, says Red. Here it comes. Give a spicy triple crunch zinger. Here it comes. Portia isn't all mining. I know that. Been playing it, Red? Oh, alright, alright. I'm not saying it's all mining, I'm just saying it's been mostly mining. A lot of mining. Lots of mining. I mean, have you been to that first, ruins yet? Lots of mining. Did you find 7 leather couches like I did? Yeah, I didn't think so. It just says oil does sell. By the way, do you want to do what? I don't know. I missed that one. Were you asking if I played Terra? Because I have. I liked it. Just, what didn't I like about it? They got monotonous. It was really fun, though. I liked the combat system. Kind of skill-based. You got there, Red? I'm surprised you haven't been mining your face off. It's crazy. Kava said you're supposed to be 18 or over 18 on Twitch. How can you be a miner? Got him! You can be 13, actually. You can be 13 on Twitch. Oh, do Terra essential oils? I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna do the essential oils. I don't believe in that garbage. People like how they smell, sure, but it's not doing much for you. Exactly, Sylvie. Indeed. Red mined both ruins. I gotta go over to the second one tonight. I think I'm done with that first one. I don't think I'm gonna find anything in there that I won't find that I need. You know, I haven't made a complete like statue thing yet, but I'm pretty sure that I can find those pieces elsewhere. doTERRA's a MLM. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is either. You're using all these cool kid terms on me, Ninja. I just don't know them. Okay. You got a statue in your yard? Okay. All right, Red. Sure. All right. Just yeah. Adjust those glasses. Flip that scarf back, buddy. All right. Cool. It's the thinking dude. I want the thinking dude. Yeah. If there's one dude I want, is that. Also, my yard is too small. I hope we get to like expand the yard eventually, because like, bruh, there's nothing but wilderness out there. Let's uproot that fence a bit, move it back about 20 feet, have more room for activities. I'm just saying. It's multi-level marketing. Oh yeah. Okay, got it. I just didn't know the acronym. I know multi-level marketing. First time cost 15K. All that soon. Now that we're selling fish, bruh. Fish sell like hotcakes. Sell these oils, then you get all your friends to sell the oils. Yeah, that's pyramid scheme. That is indeed a pyramid scheme. Let's do this. Let's jump in there. Let's jump in there. Glial cells, guys, are what I call the support classes of the brain. Okay. We've been talking about neurons. We talked about glial cells a little bit also. But we've definitely been talking about neurons, and then the glial cells kind of help support them in their function. So I'm kind of likening them to support classes for a typical party. You know, if the neurons are the tank or they're the DPS or something like that, your glial cells are going to be kind of crowd control and off tanks and healer classes and stuff like that to support the neurons in their functioning. Right? Because without neurons, you die. Also, without glial cells, you probably die too. But neurons are what make us think. Glial cells help support them in that function. Let's talk about the different types and how. So, glial cell basics. Here's a picture that kind of shows an artist's rendition of a couple of neurons here, and then the 4 different types of glial cells that I will talk about when we get to the types of glial cells in just a moment. Fred says nerdrons. Got him. Yeah, I'm proud to be a nerdron. Right? I freaking love him. Ninja said, you're saying I shouldn't have had that neuron reduction surgery? No. No, you should not. Nope, you should never have that. Nope. You kind of have most of the neurons you're ever going to have. Not all of them. That is a myth. You do make more neurons throughout your life, but only in certain parts of the brain, and yeah. The ones you got in the other parts, you kind of need to hang on to those. They're kind of important. Yeah, kind of important. Especially the ones up in the prefrontal cortex. Kind of important to brain functioning, you know? Kind of makes you. Kind of makes you human. So it's a really important thing to have. Just gonna put that out there. You know, if I were you, don't be giving those away. Just don't do it. That's important stuff. Okay. Also, quest time for whoever's ready. Exclamation point quest to join that quest. 10 GP each. Wow, he's buying neurons on the cheap, man. I don't think you're gonna buy that many. I don't think you're gonna buy many that way. So, glial cell basics. We're gonna go through this real quick. They were thought to, and I even said this on stream before, they were thought to outnumber neurons about 10 to 1. I think that's still in our neuroscience questions, and I gotta change. Well, no, sorry, the answer is not in the neuroscience questions. That was in my brain. They were thought to outnumber neurons about 10 to 1. But now they're known to be about equal in quantity, right? There's about as many glial cells in your brain as there are neurons. They're thought to be way more glial cells. Not the case. Not the case. Nope. So, that's something. Hexadecimal, welcome on in. And yep, there are a couple different things you can do. Well, they say that alcohol kills brain cells. It really doesn't, actually. It's actually fine. You can get certain types of dementia with that, but not necessarily because of brain damage so much as it is chemical imbalances, stuff like that. And smoking weed, that might kill some brain cells. I don't know. Many things you do that kill brain cells on the regular, but you got billions of them, so yay. Yeah, alcohol, not as much. And welcome on in, Hexadecimal. Good to see you. What's good with you? What's new? How you doing? And Kava says, you say that like I need a brain. The people I work around prove you don't. Got 'em. They're lucky to have you, though, Kavas. They're lucky to have you. That place would fall apart without you, dude. I see that y'all took out Tonky Trips, the undercover underfoot, which means little fat boy gets treat. You guys get some kitty cam. Peace out, Sylvie. Good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out. It's always a pleasure to see you, dude. Thank you guys for keeping Fat Boy the fattest little lab assistant on Twitch. He appreciates it. I appreciate it. You all love it. It's a win-win-win. Good boy. Back to it. So yeah, glial cells, about the same number as there are neurons. There's 4 main functions of our glial cells. Again, these are support type functions. These aren't going to be processing information kind of like neurons are at all. They're going to be doing supportive functions like surrounding and holding neurons in place, like these stretchy boys, the oligodendrocytes. We talked about those before, right? These stretchy boys are going to be wrapping around the axons of neurons and holding them in place, and also providing that myelin sheath that we talked about before, which helps neurons transmit their action potentials faster and more efficiently. These will also supply nutrients and oxygen. That's mainly the green ones here, the astrocytes. They do that. They insulate the axons of neurons. That's those oligodendrocytes. We talked about them. Also, they also destroy pathogens, clean up cellular waste. That's these red ones called microglia. And I should have talked about these ones up here where they talked about supplying nutrients and oxygen. That's the ependymal cells. Those manufacture CSF, which is used throughout your brain to move materials around and things like that, move different nutrients and stuff like that around. So it's actually, I should probably clean that section up for the next time, actually. It maybe isn't the most accurate. Yeah. Now, those are the 4 types we just talked about. The astrocytes are the green ones. We talked about how those are involved in the blood-brain barrier. The end feet, as you can kind of see here, wrap around the blood vessels of our brain much more tightly than they're showing here. They're actually wrapped completely, they're interspersed completely all around the blood vessels, not just willy-nilly like they're showing here. I don't know whose brain this is, but it's not mine. There's the oligodendrocytes we talked about here, or we showed here. There's the ependymal cells, and there are microglia. And we're going to go through each type of those right now, starting with astrocytes. But I'm going to catch up on chat is. Ninja said, isn't the main concern with weed is that it gets stored in your fat, meaning that if you're a super heavy smoker, it makes its way into the fat around your brainy bits and can slow things down? Don't know how true that is. I don't either. I don't know enough about that. I couldn't say. Do you know the stored and fat part is why weed can show up in drug tests months later if you're a heavy user? It could be something like that. Same with heavy metals get stored in fats as well, which is why it's dangerous to your brain function. Because it can get into the myelin sheathing of your brain and other fatty bits, and that's it. Monka TOS, fats, jeez. Showing your butt off to everybody. But yeah, heavy metal poisoning happens that way as well. Yep. Stuff that's fat, that loves fat, is what is that called? Oleophilic, or lipidphilic? I don't know if that's a word, but oleophilic. Things that love fats or are attracted to fats. Really not great for us, because we got a lot of fats in our body. Even if you're like a thin, ripped, Greek god, still got fat in your body. Still very dangerous to have those things. So astrocytes, those are those ones that they look like this in our brain, and these are the best kind of pictures I could find that were gonna represent the different glial cells. Was like kind of electron microscope pictures of them with done with cell staining. The red bits, these are the actual astrocytes themselves, and the blue bits, those are nuclei of either the astrocytes themselves or other nuclei of neurons or of other types of glial cells, things like that, right? But these red ones, these are the astrocytes. And you can imagine other types of glial cells in here as well. Neurons, kind of swimming all throughout here as well. There isn't going to be this much empty space in a brain, just that they are kind of coloring this layer of it as it were, to show you that contrast, you know. So these astrocytes, they connect with one another using electrical synapses. We talked about those in our talk about synapses. There's chemical synapses, which is what you normally think of when you talk about a synapse. Where there's neurotransmitters fired out from the presynaptic neuron, it stimulates receptors on the postsynaptic neuron. There's reuptake, there's diffusion of the neurons after, or the neurotransmitters after that, and that's how signals get sent, right? But that doesn't happen in astrocytes so much. Those are electrical synapses, so they don't use neurotransmitters to communicate with one another across a synapse like that. If there is neurotransmitter release, which there usually isn't, they kind of don't do that. They just kind of rely on the inner cascade of different ions, usually sodium ions, potassium ions, things like that, like you would have an action potential in a normal neuron. But those just kind of, those kind of just go through those electrical synapses, the gate channels, or the gate proteins that are between, that kind of staple the cell membranes together. It's a very fast way to transmit these signals. So in these vast arrays of astrocytes in our brain, if there's a chemical change somewhere like in this area over here, this is like an influx of calcium or something like that, the signals caused by that are going to spread like wildfire throughout all the astrocytes that are connected to them. It can cause a variety of widespread either excitatory signals or inhibitory signals all throughout the brain. So, Fats being too lewd, gonna have to shut you down. Don't report him. Don't report Fats. I don't want Twitch to show up and steal my Fats. I might throw him in jail. Throw him in Twitch jail. It's no good. So yeah, that's kind of how astrocytes connect with one another. They're stapled together with those electrical synapses, which if you missed the synapse VOD, feel free to go back and check it out sometime. Or stick around. We'll go over it again sometime. We'll recycle that one and cover it again because it bears repeating. It's important stuff. But yeah, those electrical synapses allow that really fast transmission of information, for sure. Let's see. And there's 3 different types of these astrocytes. When we are developing, as you know, as in a fetus being grown inside your mom's stomach and all that, normally the brain doesn't start out as just like a tiny brain and then like it grows into a big brain. It doesn't really start out that way. It starts out as kind of a flat sheet of neural stem cells that folds in on itself, and then it develops the different folds and shape of the brain from there. We're going to talk about that process eventually. I'll go over neural development eventually. I'm not ready to yet, but eventually I will do that. But the radial astrocytes, those are present mainly during that time when the brain is developing. And they kind of make up these radial like struts that neural stem cells are able to kind of crawl along using chemical gradients to figure out where they need to go and all that. But they use those radial astrocytes to kind of go out and out from the center of the neural tube to proliferate where they're supposed to go, and then, you know, shack up and start to grow and make connections with other neurons, and basically decide if they're going to make the cut, because a lot of the neurons that you start with as a baby, those are pruned away in a process called apoptosis, which is planned cell death, where, you know, a neuron decides, well, I guess I'm just not needed here, and it's not getting any signals from other neurons and stuff like that, so it kind of packs up all of its pieces and then shuts itself off and is chopped up by glial cells and is expelled from your body. Just not needed. So that's one of the reasons why babies sleep so much. There's a lot of neuronal pruning going on. So when you have a newborn baby and they're sleeping like all the time, it's because, you know, the brain is seeing which neurons are firing and wiring together and which ones are just not making the cut, and it's getting rid of those. So babies actually have, I think, quite a bit more neurons than we do as an adult. One, because, you know, we do stuff to our brains as we grow up, and also two, because our neural circuitry is a bit more optimized, using less neurons for way more complex functions. So, Viewbot, my friend, how you doing? How are things going? You were pretty stressed out about your work situation last time. How's that going, man? Tell me all about it. Hope you're doing well. What's new? What's good? How the heck are you? Not that way. Random letters. Good to see you. It's all still Monka S. Oh no. Sorry to hear that, Viewbot. Jeez. Hope you're able to make a decision that you can rest easy with soon. You know, there was a lot of different things that were kind of up in the air and you were deciding about, so I hope that you're able to make a good decision soon. You spent 2 hours watching politics? Oh, did you watch it on your TV or like over on a stream or something like that? When you say you watched politics, my friend, I'm Really Important comes to mind. Makes me think that... Oh, because you're moving to UK, so Brexit and such. Okay, got it. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I thought you lived there already. What the heck? Was I smoking crack? I must have. Must have been. So Brexit and stuff. Yeah, you probably want to know about that. Yeah. Sounds like Great Britain's fixing to get itself kicked out of the EU and not have any trade partners. So you did, but you moved 5 months ago. Oh, that's right. Okay, thank you. That's what I was thinking. Got it. So you're moving back. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like they're not doing a lot of favors for themselves over there in their neck of the woods. They're not going to have a lot of trading partners left. It sounds like. I hope things work out well for the citizens of the UK. Since it sounds like when they voted on Brexit, they didn't really even, like, a lot of them didn't understand what it was. So that's kind of monk-ass, yikes. But yeah, just saying. Been bouncing back and forth for the last 5 years. Okay, thank you, people. Thank you. Thanks for refreshing my memory. I do care about all these details of people's lives, but like I meet so many people, it's hard to keep track of everything, you know? I don't do it intentionally. I swear I'm listening, but there's just a lot to remember. Kind of red, kind of like that. Kava said the people got lied to about Brexit by corrupt politicians, and now they're realizing how stupid things were. Okay. That's unfortunate. That, and I was also reading that like a lot of the younger generation in Great Britain at the time that they were voting about that, a lot of the younger generation that maybe opposed Brexit, they didn't go vote. So there's that too, you know? All the older population that was all for Brexit, they went and voted. But the younger population, just kind of like in America, they just didn't make it out. So yeah. Things might have been different if the large portion of younger generation had gone out there and made their voices heard too. Voter turnout's always an issue. It is. I mean, ideally we want 100% of people voting, but you're not going to get that. But you want as close to that as possible, of course. Vbot said there's more than just a yes no to Brexit. The winning vote 2 years ago won by 4%. Yeah, and aren't they? They're kind of looking at it again, aren't they? They maybe want to like vote on it again, or maybe just reconsider it, because they're not quite. There's some talk that maybe everybody didn't understand what they were voting on. Yeah, there won't be a revote. Okay, that's it then. But I think they are looking at kind of what Brexit's going to mean, though. Yeah. Oh, there won't be a revote 6 months too late. That sucks. Okay, that's a bummer. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like, from what I understand, people just didn't get it. So, damn, UK back at it again with the Brexit deals. That they are. That they are. Let's see. So, astrocytes, though. I'm gonna finish up this page. Come back to this. So yeah, those are the radial astrocytes. Those are present in development. They're in the adult brain too, but not as much. Not nearly as much, right? Those kind of get roped into other functions in the adult brain. There's fibrous astrocytes. We see those in the white matter, the myelinated axon matter of your brain. Then the protoplasmic astrocytes, those are up in the gray matter, the cortex parts, the darker parts of your brain that aren't white, aren't myelinated. Those are the cell bodies. And also we talked about how these astrocytes, they make up the blood-brain barrier. They wrap their what are called pseudopodia, or no, not pseudopodia, sorry. They wrap their little end feet around the capillaries and blood vessels in your brain, and that's what makes up the blood-brain barrier that we've talked about before, which is basically that physical barrier that's kind of stapled together very tightly with what are called tight junctions between the endothelial cells in your blood vessels, which makes it so that larger molecules and most viruses, things like that, literally just can't fit through the blood vessel lining into your brain. They physically can't get in. It's just too small of a gap. And they actively transport across many larger molecules that need to be in there. There's a way to kind of gatekeep what gets in and out of the brain. And we talked about how it's kind of a double-edged sword, because most antibiotics and things like that can't make it into the brain if they need to get in there. The immune system of your body can't get into your brain to fight infection if it needs to, but your brain has a way to deal with that. So the astrocytes help maintain the extracellular ion concentration we talked about before. We were talking about action potentials, how there's a bunch of, there tends to be more potassium inside neurons and more sodium outside the neurons, and chloride ions, and that difference kind of needs to be maintained so that action potentials can occur. If there's equilibrium, then there's no net flow of charge, and there can't be any electrical potential changes. There can't be action potentials, kind of like a dead battery. So the astrocytes kind of help make this up by maintaining the extracellular ion concentration the way it should be. They provide metabolic support to neurons, providing nourishment, things like that. Also, astrocytes make up some of the brain's neural stem cells. If there's going to be regrown neurons, if there's going to be new neurons, they're brought about with some of these astrocyte stem cells. Also in a process called glial scarring, those are used. We're going to talk about that process in just a moment. And there's a similar cell in the peripheral nervous system. These astrocytes are only in the central nervous system, your brain and spinal cord. But in the peripheral nervous system, the nerves of your body, there are similar cells called satellite cells. We're going to talk about those after we talk about all the central nervous system ones. Let me catch up on the chat. And the problem is always money. Yeah, kind of is. Indeed. Kava said there needs to be a second referendum vote, and I'm sure it would be it'd be something they're much more in favor of. I would think so. Sounds like there should have been more discussion of it the first time, but I don't know. I've been well, Viewbot. Thanks for asking. Yeah, been a little bit sick this last week, but I'm good otherwise. The meme system? I don't know what that's about. Due date of what they're doing is March 29th. Oh, geez. Tough stuff. This unit hates politics, says Viewbot. Yep, because it's always about the money. Yep, that way in America too, unfortunately. The good of the people is kind of secondary to making money and stuff. Bada committed her first murder. That's crazy. Rip hexadecimal. Viewbot said that this meeting made a discovery today, politics-wise. The position of the Speaker of the House of Commons is an interesting position, and the lad that does it is currently one smug son. Really? How so? I don't know how this is. Speaking of making money, Epic Game Store. Yeah, I read we were talking about that earlier, man. Yeah. We were talking about how, yeah, it kind of seems like a cash grab and not nearly as customer-focused as Steam might be. As questionably customer-focused as Steam is. Metro Exodus is gonna tank. No one's gonna buy it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Those kids that love Fortnite might buy it. Kava says, all in favor of the bottom line. Unfortunately, that's how my bottom got to be so big. Got him. Me too. Got him. Self got him. Alright. So glial scarring. I just talked about that, right? Glial scarring is kind of what happens when there's traumatic brain injury and there's damage to your brain. It's part of what happens. Some of what happens is, you know, neurons die, not through apoptosis, the clean cell death, but through necrosis, where they just break open and spill their guts everywhere, and they can become kind of neurotoxic to surrounding neurons, things like that. So it's best for your body to get in there and clean it up as soon as possible. We'll talk about how that works in a moment. But afterwards, after that, those neurons are all cleaned up and whatnot, your body doesn't put new neurons back in its place. In fact, it actually inhibits that process from occurring actively. And what happens instead is what's called glial scarring. So let's see. Yeah, after TBIs, your neurons want to grow back. Like their damaged axons will attempt to kind of grow back and connect with the new neuron. But the glia, and mainly astrocytes, but also other ones as well, they start to come in and they just flood that new empty area where the damage has occurred. They chop up the old neurons and stuff like that, but then they don't leave. They stay there, and they actually put out chemical factors that that inhibit axonal regrowth. Like if there's an axon coming in and like trying to find its way and it hits this glial scar, the chemicals they're putting out, it'll actually recoil and not go in. It'll actually just never really regrow and reconnect. So yeah, scientists are kind of trying to figure out why the heck that happens. Don't know why, but for the most part, glial scarring is made up of just a ton of astrocytes, and you can kind of see some of that here. This is a big old glial scar right here. Same thing here. These are little glial scars as well. But this is a big boy right here. Big old glial scar. That could have been, you know, filled up with new neurons and stuff like that, or regrown neurons at least, but for some reason your body shuts that process down in the central nervous system, and we just don't know why. If you saw in our Discord, Mrs. Beta put up an article that's coming on 2-3 years old now. I was surprised about that. But there's a man who got into a car accident and busted his neck and has been paralyzed from the neck down for years and years. And they just tried a experimental procedure with him where they implanted about 10 million what are called oligodendrocyte progenitor cells, which should be a type of neural stem cell. And that made it so that he regained a lot of the function in his arms and hands again, which is freaking amazing, you know? He's very hopeful about being able to walk and stuff like that again, but like, you know, doctors are cautious and say, we don't actually know if that's going to be possible. But we're glad that he's got the function that he has back. He wasn't able to use his arms at all, but now they showed a picture of him like lifting a weight and stuff like that, and saying he's able to write and like feed himself and stuff like that again, which is amazing. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. I hope that there's more research like that in the future. And I'm sure they did other stuff besides just inject those cells. They probably, I don't know if they went in there and looked at cleaning up, so that if you can go in and clean up some of the glial scarring, like I don't know. But they use those stem cells to make that happen for sure. And research in this area also trying to repair the CNS and functions of it and all that stuff. Really is trying to focus on finding out why the body does this in the first place. And also they want to change that growth inhibiting environment that the glia start and maintain after that, so that new neurons can regrow. Because it seems like it's possible for them to do so if the glia would get out of the way and let them do it. I just don't know why that happens. One hypothesis is that your brain kind of prioritizes not having empty space. And so it doesn't want to, like, once the glial cells get in there and you know, do their job of cleaning up, they don't want to back them off again to let the neurons regrow through there. But I don't know, this seems detrimental, you know. So interesting stuff to think about, I think. Sunny Bits, welcome in, good to see you. Good to see you. We catch up on the chat here. Let's see. Viewbot says the position takes the role of translator of one's views so as to be understood by the entire 600 personnel of the House of Commons. Oh, geez. Wow. And the Mad Lad has a certain way of doing said translation, a way to always look smug at it. Okay. I see. Got it. Ninja said, I'm one of the people who bought Metro on Steam right before the end. Gonna play the Resident Evil free DLC on the day it comes out. Wait and see if you need to refund it. Nice. Cool, man. I couldn't get into Metro. Couldn't get into it. Could not do it. Glial scarring happens when your anime waifu cries. Oh no, I didn't know this. I probably have a lot of glial scarring then. We'll catch up here. You guys are going on a quest. And did you guys make it? Of course you did. Of course you did. Which means this little fat one got a treat. Yeah, I'll get some kitty cam. Thank you guys for donating again to Fat Boy's Fat Belly Fund. Dedicated to keeping him the fattest kitty on Twitch. He appreciates it. I appreciate it. Y'all love it. It's a win-win-win. You ever saw a cat so engaged in neuroscience before? The Fats is all about it, dude. He loves it. His love of neuroscience is trumped only by his love of lap cuddles and his love of food. It's food, lap cuddles, neuroscience. Those are his jams. Billy Fund, transcriber is a gift to humanity. What? Oh my gosh. Oh, freaking web captioner, dog. Also, speaking of adorable emotes from Sunny Bits, here's our new emote. Those of you guys who haven't seen it yet. Got this one commissioned by my pal Maple Cat. Boom! Freaking love it, dude. I love that emote. So good. There's a lot of Pavlov's going on in that furry head. There kind of is, yeah. He makes his associations. You do it. Alright. Next up on our list of support cells for the brain, the oligodendrocytes, right? We've talked about these before. There's a picture of one here. You have this big fat boy in the middle, and then the all his stretchy boy legs wrap around the axons of different neurons and provide that myelin sheathing, right? In between which are the nodes of Ranvier, where that saltatory conduction during an action potential occurs. Feel free to check out the video on action potentials if those terms don't make too much sense. We'll go over it again sometime on stream if you don't check it out. Now this basically makes action potentials, or the signals that your neurons send down itself to signal other neurons using neurotransmitters. The oligodendrocytes make that process much faster and much more efficient, and able to be done over much longer distances. These guys are the reason why we can have things transmitted from our feet up to our brain. Well, oligodendrocytes and also their PNS counterpart to the, what was it here? Yeah, Schwann cell. We'll talk about those in a bit. For sure. And then here's again an electron microscope picture of that oligodendrocyte. Here's a good picture of a nucleus here and here, and then we can see the feet of it going and wrapping around these axons, shooting through the picture as well. And the blue is just other nuclei again, but here's a good picture of an oligodendrocyte going out and wrapping up around a neuron. And here's a cross section. Because it wraps around a bunch of times. We saw another picture of that in one of the last teaching sections. Let's see, did I not cover anything here? They can wrap up to around 50 different axons, which is interesting. I didn't know it was that many. But one oligodendrocyte puts out processes to wrap around 50 different axons, I guess, or they just wrap around, they can wrap 50 times around some axons. I guess it doesn't have to be different axons each time, but they'll provide a section of myelin sheathing up to 50 times, which is pretty crazy. We talked about these oligodendrocytes. Those are in the central nervous system. But of course, there's myelin sheathing in your peripheral nervous system as well, and that's accomplished through Schwann's cells. Those are a little bit different, and we're going to talk about those later. I also talk about it here a little bit. They wrap around one axon, that's all, because it's one individual cell, whereas a oligodendrocyte uses these little stretchy boys to wrap around many different axons at once. The Schwann cells can only wrap around one per cell. And this sheathing of axons, this isn't like your brain isn't fully myelinated when you're born. Just like it's not fully developed in many ways when it's born. Kind of develops throughout your life all the way to the mid-20s, and myelination is no different. That continues until your mid-20s, especially in the frontal lobes, the prefrontal cortex, which is notoriously still kind of half-baked in teenagers, which is why they are who they are. So you turn into an adolescent and you kind of lose your mind for a while, and then you hit your mid-20s and you're back to being a human. Nana Pierogi, oh my gosh, my friend. You know how long it took me to follow on Twitch? Well, I don't know how either. I don't know how long it took me this long to follow you on Twitch. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's up with us. Good to see you, Nana, my friend. Welcome on in. It's been a pleasure getting to know you on the Twitter sphere. Can we get a shout out for Nano, please? Go check her out. She's good people. I appreciate her viewpoints. Been a pleasure talking and streaming with her on the Twitter. And welcome on in, Nano. What's good? What's new? How the heck are you? We're learning about that neuroscience. Chilling here with Rad. You're ready to hear about your brain stuff? Good. I'm glad to hear it. We're talking about the brain's support classes, those glial cells. Who's Rad? Is Rad a pet? Goodness. I want to know this. Oh yes, Radagast. Thank you. Haven't heard the short name. Yes. Nano also has a stream kitty named Radagast. I'm guessing that's from Lord of the Rings because I've never heard that name anywhere else. And if indeed that is true, props to me for knowing that, and also I love that name, the Lord of the Rings reference. She's playing Greece. She's about halfway done. Yes, it is indeed beautiful. I would love to hear what you think about the entirety of it when you finish it, right? Yeah, we finished that up pretty quick after it came out, actually, and it gets like real deep real fast. So I hope that we hear what you have to say about that, or think about that too. Greece Coolio game, it is indeed. We enjoyed that here on the stream. We enjoyed talking about it. We enjoyed the art style for sure. I wish it had been like a bit more puzzly and difficult. I don't mind that there's no combat, that's fine with me, but I wish that there was a bit more to figure out. I loved it though. So, don't know about the facehuggers yet? Stop it. He's a big old kidder, this orange ninja. Just gonna say. Radagast is from Lord of the Rings, I thought so. I think it's from Destiny? Oh, I didn't know there was a Ninja would know. Is there a Radagast in Destiny? I didn't know this. Yeah, no. I don't know Destiny either, so no, I immediately think Lord of the Rings. Because, yes. I'd say Lord of the Rings is better than Destiny, okay? Fight me. So, that's where I'm at. Alright. So like I was saying, these axons are the sheathing, the myelin sheathing of these axons, which is basically like insulation on copper wires for electricity, right? But it's inside your brain. That continues into middle adulthood, just like the development of your brain overall continues into middle adulthood, which is why I, in my, older now and kind of stickler ways, wouldn't mind there being, wouldn't mind it if we like drank later in our life, because you know drinking can affect neural development, and maybe if you didn't drink till you're 25, you might be even better off. That's just me. It's probably not a popular opinion. It's not going to change anything, but I don't know. I would like to see people not do that for sure. And they just said, "Why would you assume I know about Destiny? I played Destiny 2 base game. None of its X packs or Destiny 1." Okay, I thought you did. Thought you played some Destiny, dog. Thought you were all about it. Or rather, I figured even if you hadn't played it, that you would know something about it. Let's go. Viewbot says drinking and smoking should be moved past 30 in this unit's opinion. Okay, that's even more conservative than I think. Why is that? Why do you think, Viewbot? Similar reasons to me, or what? But yeah, over in the UK, they drink even earlier than here in the US. It's like 16 or 18, something like that, right? Yeah. At least in the US it's 21, but like nobody observes that. Kids drink before they're 21. I drank before I was 21. Luckily, I never liked it that much, so I didn't make a huge deal of drinking. I didn't drink that much. I don't drink at all now. I just don't like it. But yeah. I hear you, Ninja. Yeah, it's true, Nano. Most places drink earlier than we do, and I wish they wouldn't. You know, I think that can affect neural development, but I don't know if there's any basis on that or not. Thing is, one moves from being a kid and moving into adulthood. Yep, I think that's affected by drinking. 200 is indeed past 30. It's true, yes. The smarter one is at age of 25 rather than the age of 24 and such. I would say so, yeah. Makes sense, yeah. You're saying like alcohol can contribute to poor decision making in people under 25 or 30. I can get that. For sure. Yeah, I think Ninja thinks it's silly you can go overseas and kill people and smoke and vote before you can have a beer. Yep. Don't drink though. But you can go fight and die for us. Oh yes. Sunny says you must be 150 years old to drink. That's your incentive for staying healthy, guys. You want that freaking IPA? You want that hef? Better make it to 150. Centuries, 1.5 centuries, okay? Do it. This unit still applies? Got you, Viewbot. Yeah, it doesn't make sense logically that can happen, yeah. But, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm fine with those things being moved back. I'm kind of fine with voting being moved back to 20, honestly. Or something sometime later, because, I don't know. I think 18-year-olds are very impressionable. I know the first couple of votings that I did, I was not informed at all. Not even a little bit. But hey, I don't know. Whatever. Nana said I didn't have my own opinions at 18. I didn't either. I had no idea. I didn't freaking know. I didn't have my own opinions about much of anything when I was 18. I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Like I had way more like egocentric things to figure out first, you know? I was worried about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I was figuring out like me based stuff, you know? You thought you did, but you really didn't. I think it's many teenagers, yeah. They think they know everything, and no, you freaking don't. Shut up. No, you don't. You're not going to go backpacking in Europe when you graduate high school. No, you're not. Stop it. Go to community college. Go work at Chipotle for a while. You're not doing those things. Viewbot said this unit started drinking late. I started drinking relatively late compared to the people around me. I started drinking when I was almost 21. That's when I got really drunk, yeah. It was alright. Never made a habit of it, like I said. It was whatever. So, right, so let's go backpacking, guys! We're over 18, so yeah. You started drinking late, but you quickly moved through the ranks? Gotcha. Okay. I started drinking later and also just never really picked it up. I got a nasty hangover the first time I drank, and then like kind of never again after that, and just like, I never found anything that I like really liked drinking, you know? I don't like the taste of any of it. And like the effects are kind of nice, but like they just make me tired. They make my joints hurt, and like it just ugh. Like as soon as I have like a beer when I'm out with people, like they're ready to like, oh well, cool, let's go talk. And like I want to go to sleep. I want to go back to the house and take a nap now. Like I'm done. I'll be DD for you guys. Like forget it. I don't want to drink. Like it doesn't enhance the situation for me, you know. Viewbot says his unit would rather sip whiskey than sit and drink 6 to 7 cans of lager. See, I would if I'm gonna drink something, I'd rather have beer. But I don't even like that much. I never liked hard alcohol much. Wine is disgusting. I hate it. And most beers, not a huge fan of either. I hate IPAs, which is unfortunate because that's about all you can find in tap rooms nowadays. Yeah, and very few beers can I like kind of choke down, I guess. I don't like it. I don't like it. Red says, bring me my bed, peasants. I have consumed alcohol. That's freaking awesome, dude. Nana's drinking a porter tonight, but you like a good whiskey. Cool. I'm glad you enjoy it. Cool. Nothing wrong with a drinky or 2 or 4 in moderation, you know? As long as you're not drinking a bunch and going and driving, it's fine with me. I had a friend who did that, who would get really drunk and then go drive. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna slap the keys out of your hand. What is wrong with you, idiot? And kind of, luckily, he got a DUI and didn't hurt anybody, but got a DUI and turned his crap around, doesn't drink anymore. I'm like, good, you were a danger that way to yourself and others. Like, god damn, that was a silly decision on your part. I'm so glad that nothing happened. Nothing more serious. Ray's drinking coffee tonight. What else is new, Red? What else is new? Oh, yeah, see, I never like coffee either. Nope. Nope. Viewbot's got some Irish whiskey next to current comfy sitting space. I like it. Might just take some sips. Okay. You enjoy that, man. You enjoy that. Yeah, the alcohol, not so much. The coffee, not so much. Not so much. Paper cut source. Good to see you. Welcome on in. You a sharp piece of paper, you? How the heck are you this evening? What's good? What's new? Thanks for being here. Hoppy stuff like beer upsets your stomach. Can only stand wine. Cool. Glad you enjoy it. I could never, yeah. Hops or beer's not so much for me. Maybe that's like a gluten thing for you, maybe, huh? Possibly. I don't know. There are non-wheat beers, of course, but yeah, I just not for me. I ain't a big fan. Thanks for stopping in, Paper Cut Source. Thanks for spending some of your time here. And breads are fine? Oh, yeah. Maybe it's just that then. I don't know. A specific like idiopathic allergy or something. I don't know. Yeah, Lark, no problem, Nano. See you in a bit. Coffee's only for highly advanced individuals. Stop, Red. Viewbot had said this unit had Assemble Day a few days back. Had no mood to celebrate. What was it? What's Assemble Day? I never heard of that. Sounds like a government holiday or something. Anyway, guys, let's jump back into this. So we talk about oligodendrocytes. They make up the the myelin sheathing of your axons. Continues into adulthood, right? And this is what's affected. These guys are affected in MS, right? The your immune system in your body starts to attack the oligodendrocytes and the myelin sheathing on your axons and break that down, and then parts of your brain are no longer myelinated like they're supposed to be. So you end up with a variety of deficits, depending on how diffuse and all that stuff the damage is. No two people's what's what I'm looking for? No two people's symptoms are going to be the same. Like tingling in the extremities is a pretty common one, but I mean everybody's pathology is going to be a bit different with that disease. So yeah, that's an autoimmune disorder. We've talked about how dastardly those can be, because we can't really teach our immune system not to attack a certain place. We can teach them how to attack a certain virus and whatnot by teaching it how, but we can't take that information back out and tell them not to anymore. So yeah, once it starts, it's just there, and you just kind of have to manage it the rest of your life. So, and MS is specific to your central nervous system. There is a companion disease to this called Guillain-Barré syndrome, and that affects your peripheral nervous system, the Schwann cells there. So, it's like a human birthday. Oh, got it. Okay. Oh, got it. Viewbot. Got it. You had your birthday a few days back. Well, happy B-Day. Happy Assembly Day. Had no mood to celebrate. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I know you've been really stressed out with the work decisions, first of all, but then also I'm guessing the political stuff is also making you think twice about a lot of things. I'm sorry you didn't have a better birthday. Sorry about that. You can't get coffee just anywhere. What do you mean, Sonny? You have a specific place you like to go or what? Ouch. So ependymal cells, we talked about those. These kind of line the edges of our ventricles. We can kind of see them here on the edge of this space where the ventricle would be, and then the rest of your brain would be. These would be ependymal cells here. These align the ventricles. We talked about these when we were talking about the blood-brain barrier, and also the other neuroprotective anatomy of the central nervous system. See, the ventricles and cerebrospinal fluid is one part we talked about, how your brain kind of floats in that cerebrospinal fluid throughout the day. Otherwise, it would crush itself under its own weight, and we just can't have that. The cerebrospinal fluid is made by the ependymal cells. They have cilia on the CSF side of things. They kind of circulate that throughout your body throughout the day, because your brain doesn't just have one bit of CSF that it just floats in forever. It's constantly replenishing and renewing it throughout the day. And you make about 500 liters, or about half a liter of it throughout the day. And there's 150 or so in your brain at any one time. Ouch. So within these big reservoirs, usually around these large reservoirs of cerebrospinal fluid called ventricles, there's a network of these ependymal cells and blood vessels that kind of make up what are called choroid plexuses. And those produce the CSF you have in your body. And these are linked, the ependymal cells themselves, these are all linked together, stitched together real tight, with tight junctions like the epithelial cells, endothelial cells, sorry, that are in the blood vessels of our body, of our brain as well, which make up the blood-brain barrier. Again, they make up that really, those tight junctions make it so that larger molecules can't pass through. Same thing here, in the barrier between cerebrospinal fluid and the brain itself, right? The ependymal cells that border that, those are linked together at tight junctions also, and they form the blood CSF barrier of the brain instead. So that systemic blood, or something from systemic blood, can't get into the brain that way. It just doesn't work that way. Ubot said this unit hasn't had a good one in years, but such is adulting sometimes. Sorry to hear that, Ubot. I think you're going through a rough patch lately, my man. Hope you're doing better soon. Like I said, hope you're able to make a good decision for yourself and get onto a better place for yourself soon. Sunny's being sarcastic. Can't walk half a block without a coffee place. Oh, I got it. Okay. Gosh dang text and sarcasm. So hard to get those across sometimes. I don't get it very well yet. But yeah, there's coffee everywhere. It's true. I hear that not all coffee is created the same, but you can certainly find a place or 7 within a mile of you usually. Got that. Red said, no coffee places in my town. Hashtag rural. Got it. Got it. Quest time for whoever's ready. Red's on it. Ubot's on it. Let's see him. The last central nervous system glial cell we're going to talk about, the last support system, the last support class of the brain, are microglia. We've been talking about how the immune system, or your immune system cells in your body, the macrophages in your body, can't get through the blood-brain barrier in order to fight off infections in your brain, which is why when you start showing symptoms of rabies, why it's deadly, it's lethal then, because that means that the rabies virus has made it into your brain and is now attacking your brain, and your immune system can't do anything about it because it can't get into the blood-brain barrier to stop it. So, but there are, instead of macrophages, instead of the immune system of your body, there are instead microglia inside your brain, and those act like the immune system of your central nervous system. But I guess they can't fight off the rabies virus, and I didn't find out why. I didn't think about that. But these are some microglia right here. There's different forms of these microglia. These ones you're seeing right here with these little octopode, or these little spindly arms sticking out, these are what are called ramified. These act kind of sentinels, and they're sensing any sort of chemical changes in the blood or in the extracellular space of your brain, so they can react and go fight off any sort of diseases that they might need to, clean up a broken neuron, whatever they might need to do. These rounder green blobby ones you're seeing, those are called amoeboid ones. These are kind of seen as the garbage men, or the garbage people, the sanitation workers as it were, of the brain. These are able to go throughout the brain as they see fit. They're going to clean up old neurotransmitters, break those down. They're going to clean up broken neurons, chop those up, take that garbage out, all kinds of stuff like that. Those are kind of proliferating throughout your brain at all time, kind of cleaning up the waste and making sure it stays nice and clean. And the ramified ones with these spindly arms off of them, when they do sense that they need to go into action, they will become what are called reactive microglia, and those are just destroyers. They just go in and they just destroy whatever they touch. They are actually Neurotoxic. If they're left unchecked, they can actually do a lot of damage to the CNS, or some damage to it. I wouldn't guess a lot, or else we probably wouldn't be alive. But they can do some damage to the CNS, but they are extremely, extremely toxic to whatever they come in contact with. You don't want them in your Twitch chat. They will just destroy whatever they latch themselves onto. They envelop things, foreign organisms that aren't supposed to be there, and just kill them on contact. And yeah, so that's how those work, basically. That's exactly, yep, that was everything. So, catch up on the chat again. I do see you guys took out Tortoiseshell Tansy, which means little fat boy gets treat. Y'all get some kitty cam. Redtacular made it through by himself. He didn't solo it, but the non-subs did not make it through. Tortoiseshell Tansy took him out. And Tommy missed it, but that's okay. Tommy gets to enjoy the rewards of the treat. It's okay. Thank you guys for requesting yet again for Fatboy's Fat Belly Fun, dedicated to keeping him the fattest kitty on Twitch. He appreciates it, I appreciate it, you all love it. It's a win-win-win. My friend Rolt, welcome on in. How the heck you doing, man? Woke up from a nap, doing homework and got some simple division wrong. Whoops, that's what happens when you try to do math on a tired brain. I wouldn't recommend it, man. Wouldn't recommend it. It's good to see you, Rolt. Rolt says there's a League of Legends fans in your brains. Hella toxic. Got him. Got him. Oh, man. Friends don't let friends do math. Nope, they do it for them, I guess. I don't know. My teacher is always trying to give me math. Alright, so there's the 4 types of glial cells, or support class cells, in your brain and spinal cord, in the central nervous system. So on to the peripheral nervous system, or the PNS. It's often shorted to. That's the nerves in the rest of your body, right? Outside of the brain and outside of the spinal cord. It's in your face, in your body, all that stuff. Those are those nerves and axons. So the Schwann cells, we talked about those when we were talking about oligodendrocytes. We said that the Schwann cells do the same thing in the PNS that the oligodendrocytes do in the central nervous system, right? Which would be providing this myelin sheathing around axons in the peripheral nervous system. That's what Schwann cells do. And remember, each one of these little sections of myelin sheathing in the peripheral nervous system, that's going to be one separate Schwann cell. Whereas in the central nervous system, recall, each oligodendrocyte can wrap up about 50 sections of myelin sheathing. And yep, talked about that. There's about 10,000 of these little bad boys per micrometer of axon, which is pretty crazy. There's a lot of these all the way down. We've got it wrapped up nice and tight. Got it on lockdown. And also, unlike the neuronal tissue in the central nervous system, in the peripheral nervous system, there actually can be axonal regrowth. There can be regrowth of nerves, such as if you have like a hand chopped off or something like that. If you get to the hospital quick and you get it put back on, those axons can actually regrow back together, and you can get a lot of function in that hand back. Same thing with fingers. You get a finger cut off and go get it reattached quick as can be. You can get a lot of that function of that finger back for sure. Papercusaurus 10K per micron. Yep, that is under 1 per nanometer. Yep, there's not that many, I guess, but yeah, 10,000 per micrometer. Indeed. Red say took a philosophy class once. 99% of the time I was stuff makes no sense. It's pretty crazy stuff, Red. Yeah, it is. It's more about thinking about thinking. I always thought, like, it's more metacognition stuff. Yeah. Greek philosophers are pretty cool, I'd say. But what do these taste like? I was wondering the same thing. Random letters. Looking at this, like, I thought these looked like bubblegum, like candy pieces, and I want to eat it. I'm just gonna say I just want to eat it. The cave stuff, stop it. Good old Play-Doh, dude. You had a good idea there. I liked it. It's all about just tearing yourself away from the stuff that doesn't matter. Trying to get you to see those truths in your life, and it's easier and easier to see each time you go find one. You know. I get it. It's like bacon wrapped butter. Good eating. Good eating. But these, like I was saying, these actually promote axon regrowth. So they actually get rid of damaged cells and stuff like that nearby, and they actually then create kind of a growth tunnel with which the axon can grow through. They put in that chemical gradient that they can sense. It says, hey, grow this way, it's over here. And they do promote that regrowth that way. So. There's actually, I talked about getting a hand cut off. There was a story, I think Ninja shared with me, where there was a dude that like literally got his hand like cut off with a saw, made it inside and called his wife and stuff like that before he died, because like he was bleeding profusely, obviously. And they got him to the hospital right quick and got his hand back on quick as can be, and he was able to, with physical therapy and stuff like that, get about 80% of the function of his hand back. So it's not perfect, because I mean your hands aren't meant to be cut off and all that stuff, but it's damn good. It's better than 0%. So yeah, that can happen in the peripheral nervous system. But you know, if something were severed in your brain, like you're not growing that back, you're not getting that most of that function back. You might get some. Like if some surrounding neurons can kind of take over some of the function of what was lost, you can maybe get some back, but for the most part, that's gone, and you're not going to get that function back. So, ain't no problem, Ninja. If you pass out, you pass out, dude. No worries, no worries. You were working hard last week on your schoolwork and such. I'm also a sleepy boy. I haven't been sleeping well lately, or haven't been sleeping well schedule-wise, you know? So. Catch up on the chats a little bit. Diogenes is cool. I don't remember anything specifically there. It said the 1% was the time the teacher made us watch The Matrix. You liked that? Yep. There's some interesting philosophical topics in there. I heard. I don't think I ever connected those together. He was like, "What does this symbolize?" And I was like, "I gotta use the bathroom." Of course you were. Of course you were. Random says that sounds like when he took an accounting class. Got him. Peace out, Ninja. Take it easy, bud. We'll see you next time, man. Sleep well. So there's Schwann cells. They are different than, of course, the oligodendrocytes in your brain. That's how they roll. And also satellite cells. Talked about how those are kind of like astrocytes in the that surround the neurons in your brain. These ones surround the neurons and axons in the peripheral nervous system instead. And they kind of perform a similar function. They wrap up really tightly around those and provide somewhat of a protective barrier chemically and also physically. They kind of provide some physical cushioning as well. Because if you have these very, I guess, fragile wires or axons, neuronal axons and stuff like that in your peripheral nervous system moving around all the time, you'd kind of want some cushioning barriers in there so that they aren't subject to lots of kinking and twisting and shear forces and all that kind of stuff. So satellite cells take the brunt of that kinetic movement and stuff throughout the day. And they also maintain chemical balance and stuff like that around the neuron as well, kind of like glial cells do. They're similar. They're similar. Don't let the bed neurons bite. Got them. I love it. And that's it. I mean, pretty simple, honestly. That's what they do. These are just like kind of a lot like the astrocytes in the central nervous system, except that they aren't going to, you know, prevent axonal regrowth after nerve damage. So that's that. We'll review real quick. We'll move on to some of my time at Porsche. See some more of my time at Porsche, not yours. Let's go through a quick review real quick. We got those ependymal cells in the central nervous system. That's one type of glial cell. That basically makes our CSF. That's aligns and also forms the cerebrospinal fluid and blood barrier. So preventing anything from the systemic blood or the blood in our body getting through into the CSF of our brain. That's what those do. That's kind of what they do. The astrocytes, those are probably the most prolific ones in the brain. Those make the blood-brain barrier by wrapping really tightly around the different capillaries and blood vessels of your brain. Also, kind of maintain the extracellular ion concentration so that neurons are able to produce action potentials and all that stuff. Remember, they kind of rely on that sodium-potassium gradient between the inside and outside of each neuron. Astrocytes can help maintain that gradient. They also provide nourishment and whatnot to the neurons as well. They do a lot of different stuff. Oligodendrocytes do what they're showing here. They wrap around different sections of neurons and provide that myelin sheathing, which is kind of like intermittent electrical insulation, kind of like on copper wires, so that the ions that are transferring down the axon of a neuron during an action potential are able to jump between those nodes, and makes it so the transmission's faster and more reliable. And the microglia, kind of like the central nervous system's immune system, because remember the blood-brain barrier that the astrocytes make, that doesn't allow in immune system cells from the body, so the brain needs its own, and they got the microglia, and that's that. In the peripheral system, you have Schwann cells, which are basically just like sections of a myelin sheathing in the central nervous system, except that each one of the sections of myelin sheathing is its own cell, a Schwann cell. They each make up their own little section. And the satellite cells form around these cell bodies and probably also other sections of peripheral nerves and neurons. And they perform a lot of the same functions that astrocytes do. They wrap really tightly around them, provide some physical and chemical defense against the things in the environment, and also kind of maintain the chemical environment around the neuron and provide nourishment and stuff like that. So that is that. That is all the glial cells, the support classes of the brain, in a nutshell. Hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed talking about it.